Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Command with the weekly comic book roundup. We're gonna do things a little bit differently this week. We've got a bunch of books to review, to go over. So we'll be splitting up into 2 days. We'll have a few videos tonight and the rest tomorrow. We're also gonna try another different thing. Among the books I cover every month is Batman Urban Legends, which, as it's an anthology book, that's it runs a bit longer than most books, so I'm considering giving that its own video every month when the new issue, its own video every month when it comes out. Now, we'll be doing that kind of right now, but we're also covering last month's issue because that was one of the books we were going to cover New Year's weekend, but, well, I was sick, so yeah. So, let's get started. Kicking things off, we've got Batman Urban Legends number 22. So, we have The Director, featuring Nightwing, part 1 of 2, Arkham Academy, part 2 of 3, and The Murder Club, focusing on Batman, part 3 of 4, as well as Batman Anarchy and Utility. So, The Director, Nightwing stops a bank heist and apparently recognizes one of the goons, one of the robbers, but there's someone he's periodically busted. Later, Babs informs Dick that there are videos of some of his recent adventures, which he notes have kind of seemed almost scripted. So, the videos are a bit of a trace is found. Apparently, these aren't the original videos, they're just uploaded from elsewhere. And that night, Dick follows a trace to the suburbs of Bloodhaven, where it turns out that these are being uploaded by Seer. At least, they're being re-uploaded. Babs tries to get what information she can, while the director plots their next move. The next night, the next performance of the director is at the Lunar Crown Casino in Bloodhaven. Robbery. The goons are not exactly great at memorizing their lines, but Nightwing takes them on, manages to subdue one of them, tries to get information, and then gets shot fatally. Some additional digging, Dick follows some clues and finds a massacre at one of the local TV studios. And that is where part 1 ends. So now, moving on to Utility, featuring Anarchy. Someone is utilizing Batman's utility belt items. But it turns out that Anarchy is distributing basically, I want to say it's like 3D printer, the stuff to 3D print them. But Batman's trying to basically get all of this stuff out of other people's hands. And when but one of the people who got it manages to use actually manages to kind of save Batman, or to help Batman with what they printed out. Batman tells them that, okay, fine, you got some more to print what you need. Next, we've got Arkham Academy. So the kids have. We start off with Little Kitten's origin. He was a kid grew up in Gotham. Decided he wanted to try and be a rapper, but well, wasn't going anywhere. Even created a backstory of him being um, the sidekick of Catwoman. Often got beat up by what appeared to be Tim Drake. He happily pled to, was like, yeah, lock me up, give me the cred. Well, where we left off, the students of Arkham Academy had been introduced to their first professor, or their first lecturer, Killer Croc. Little Kitten starts giving him grief, and and the rest of these are kind of laughing at the whole thing, but then Croc breaks his chains and his shackles, and yeah, ends up basically gutting Little Kitten. That's where part 2 of Arkham Academy ends. Finally, we've got the Murder Club Part 3. So where we left off, Batman had discovered that who it was that brought his parents to the present. But while he was doing this, the person in question being the Time Commander. But Bruce's parents aren't happy with the fact that he's, Batman. There's a bit of an argument. Try to talk. Basically, Dr. Thomas Wayne is a bit stubborn one, but Dick, Alfred, and Danny do manage to bring him back out of the dumps there, and Martha manages to talk to get talk some sense into Thomas. Before Thomas is visited by Damian, and then Alfred. Alfred apparently has a scrapbook of Batman's various newspaper clippings, and so, but Thomas and Martha look at them, and while Batman and Nightwing work on a means of taking care of the tech as well as the chemistry of Time Commander's everything. But when they realize it, Time Commander's gone. Once they figure it out, Time Commander's gone, and Damien's trying to interrogate him. And but Batman's trying to get answers about who was behind the whole thing, and just as Time Commander's about to tell him, he's killed by his employers, the Court of Owls. And that's where our issue ends. Murder Club definitely turning out interestingly. Same with Arkham Academy. Yeah, I definitely that Nightwing story is quite good. So we'll move on to issue 23. So Nightwing's trying to chase down lead. Nightwing and Oracle are both coming up dry when it comes to leads on the director. But Nightwing does manage to get some answers on, at least find out who was the one that got killed right in front of him. but a drone is apparently hovering above, taking pictures. Turns out that there was a vendor reform course at the community center. And so Dick shows up in disguise, a fake beard, mustache, the works. And one of those there says, "Hey, we got a little job we're doing afterwards. It's not a sketch, but Dick shows up as Nightwing. It's an old film lot from Blüdhaven's Hollywood East days. He gets hit with a dart, and the director explains the scene. They've all woken up in a warehouse. A beast is en route. The beast turns out to be none other than the Flamingo. Dick manages to use the fact that Flamingo is wielding a knife to get free of his zip ties around his wrists. And does we can get everybody out, or at least away from Flamingo. And then when Batgirl shows up as well, and some things are pointed out that maybe it does seem like perhaps the commander or the director can't pay Flamingo. Flamingo's a high-priced mercenary, so. Oracle explains how she figured out Batgirl explains how she figured out that who the director was. Turns out she's got some cybernetic implants, including a camera implant on her right eye. But Nightwing and Batgirl are kind of, it's like, they can't help but feel like there's someone else pulling the strings. Perhaps a producer. And yeah, there is. Next up, we've got Hot Pursuit, featuring Batman and Robin. This is a one-off. Basically, it's the first time Robin got to drive the Batmobile. But Batman and Robin were dealing with Firefly. This is the Dick Grayson Robin. And Batman trying to make clear to Dick that they're partners. Also saying, hey, if I go down, get out of there. But, well, Dick's not going to do that. He explains why. Goes back to the circus. His days in the circus. Him and his the flying greats had a thing when they were in the air. They weren't mom, dad, and son. They were partners, and he couldn't be there for his partners to make sure his partners didn't fall that time. So he's trying to make sure that Batman does it this time. Batman gets it. He's like, okay, yeah, but also states that after they've taken out Firefly, that it's going to be a while before Dick gets to drive the car again. Which brings us to Part 3 of Arkham Academy, the finale. Little Kitten dies from his wounds. And Scorn's suit activates, including all of his own utility belt stuff. But him and Enigma and I don't remember the Fire Kid, but simply put, they all of them managed to bring down Croc, and Scorn goes to talk to the headmistress, and it's basically explained that part of the reason that Batman's been so good at trying to make change to the city is the fact of his, as she puts it, child army. And it turns out that Arkham Academy is being run by none other than the Court of Owls, with this tagline at the bottom at the end saying this was just orientation day. Which brings us to the last story, The Murder Club, Part 4. Find out that Thomas and Martha were taken in the instant before the murder of the Waynes. The plan being that the judge of Owls was going to kill Joe Chill, prevent the death of the Waynes. But something went wrong, and the Waynes ended up in the present. Batman explains that there's a toxin inside the Judge of Owls that's killing her slowly. He has an antidote. But the whole thing, the idea is that they want to let the timeline just reset. Martha's back at the cave. Martha suggested Alfred call the police and as an assist, but there's a brief argument, but calling the police manages to work. The judge still ends up dying, but Alfred manages to pick everyone up. Batman gives a simple, with slight omissions, version of what happened to Gordon, and they figure out how to do how to get Thomas and Martha back to the moment they were gone from, which it's a little easy when you've got Rip Hunter on in your Rolodex. But Thomas does ask for one thing before leaving: go for a spin in the Batmobile. So Bruce takes his parents driving in the Batmobile, and Martha states that clearly Alfred taught him how to drive. But Bruce and his parents have a bonding moment. They're proud, and so the family goes back to Crime Alley. Thomas says his goodbyes to everyone. Thomas and Martha say their goodbyes to everyone, with Thomas being confident that the Wayne family name will thrive with Damian in his future, though he does advise Damian to keep his lesser impulses in check. Damian makes no promises. Martha says goodbye to Dick, thanking him for keeping Bruce grounded all these years. And before they leave, Thomas tells Bruce that family is the only thing that matters. So they head back. The timeline goes on as it's supposed to. Bruce, Dick, and Damian have a chat about things and then leap into action. That is where the story ends. Murder Club was really Murder Club. It took a while to get its footing, and I'm kind of glad it was done in Urban Legends, not in one of the regular books. I kind of get the feeling there would have been a bit more wheel spinning, but yeah. What was it called? The director was good story. I honestly hope that this is a story that continues on, that gets followed up on in Nightwing after the upcoming Nightwing number 100. Hot Pursuit was a fun little one-off. Arkham Academy was interesting. I'm hoping that it gets followed up on. But anyway, like I said, I'm thinking about doing Urban Legends every month as its own video. All the Urban Legends title. It feels like it'd be simpler that way, and but anyway, let me know what I'm gonna post a I'll do a post on YouTube as well, as I mentioned this in the video. If you have any thoughts on this idea, let me know in the comments, either on the post itself after I do it, or on or comment on this video. Anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.